Hey everyone, welcome to 10-Minute Mentorship, brought to you by the Credit Union National Association. On the show, we talk about the important topic of career development, and we speak to amazing credit union leaders. I'm Antonio Neves. I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm a coach, and I am a proud credit union member. Now, before I introduce our guests, I would like to say thank you to our sponsor, CUNA Mutual Group. We appreciate all they do to keep the credit union industry thriving and moving boldly into the future. Now, joining me today for 10-Minute Mentorship is Singh from Sunmark Credit Union. Jay, thank you so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Let's get straight into it. Let's imagine, Jay, you were beginning your career. You had to start over today, but you know what you know up to this point. What would you do to start building your career over from scratch?
If I were to start all over again, the one thing I would redo and focus on is building my brand. So when we work for a company, you follow the company's brand. I am my company's brand. So anytime I talk to a member, I'm Sunmark, and I'm Sunmark to them. However, what happens is life takes over. You get busy with work, you get more responsibilities, and you forget to focus on yourself because now you have people reporting to you and you want to take care of them. You want to meet your boss's expectations. So you are the middleman who's trying to make it work. So what ends up happening is if I was starting all over again, I would stay focused in building my brand. I see young professionals coming in and they work on their brand, but they also get in a rut and you get busy with things and you lose focus of your brand.
Let's shift to our next question. Jay, when you were beginning your career or maybe early on, what is something that you once believed to be true as it relates to your career and work that now with time you no longer believe to be true?
I'm 50 years old. I grew up in India and I moved to the US 30 years ago. I was 20 years old when I moved here. My father is a scientist. My sister is a psychologist. My mom had an economics background. So you grow up working and trying to succeed at school level. And then once you start professionally at the professional level. So you think growing up that your work defines you. So in my case, I learned about 10 or 15 years ago that my work doesn't define me. I define me. Right? My self-identity is very important. So my core values, who I am, what I can do to help an organization, be at work or outside, young professionals, it doesn't matter. People look up to you when you get to know people, if you're genuine. So if I had to look at things that I don't believe in, work still defines you a little bit, but not, I'm never going to be known for we did $100 million in loans. My boss is going to forget 3 months later what am I doing now and what I'm going to do next. But if I am good to the people around me, if I am good to the people who report to me, and they get to know me as a human being who is kind, generous with the time is money, that's what is different in a 50-year-old Jay compared to a 35-year-old go-getter Jay.
Great answer. Good reminder. Your career doesn't define you. No. You define you. Okay, I'm sure some people are watching this right now, Jay, that work really hard and they feel like they're really kicking butt, but they also simultaneously feel like they're being overlooked and they're not getting the recognition that they feel like they deserve. What advice would you have for that person that feels like they're not getting the recognition or they feel overlooked?
Well, I've lived it. I work for Sunmark. I love Sunmark. It's a great organization. And what ended up happening was I applied for the same position twice. And the second time I was asked to apply for a position and I was not hired for one reason or the other, right? So the first instinct is I'm going to leave, right? The second instinct is what can I do differently? Now I oversee business services. It's a great job to have. So what you need to do is continue to focus. Once I said, my work doesn't define me. I can be a leader without a title, right? You impact people all around you at every day, every interaction you have with a young professional. If I have one at Credit Union, I have to make sure I continue to keep that professionalism, continue to work towards things, help them stay focused on what they want long term. Good things will happen if you continue to work hard and smart.
Hard and smart, and a good reminder, like you just said, that you can be a leader without the title. Just to piggyback on that question a little bit, there are a lot of people that manage teams, and the teams they manage and they lead, at some point they were doing great work. Now they've transitioned to doing good work. In many ways, they're on autopilot and on cruise control. Not doing bad work, no one's going to be written up or nothing's going to horribly is going to happen, but they used to do great work, but now they're doing good work. How do you get teams and individuals re-engaged?
Well, this is where the personal brand, this is where the engagement of meeting with folks regularly comes into play. We have at Sunmark a coaching program where my boss meets with me every month. So it keeps you focused on what you're working towards. So when you have things like that, innovate and make new products and services, no matter what you're doing, right? And engaging the young staff to do those things, the chances of them getting complacent is still there, but it'll be less. So it's very important to stay engaged. If they're young professionals, they should look for a mentor within their organization. Hopefully their boss. If they get a mentor who's their boss, that's the best thing you can have.
And it's a good reminder of the importance of getting coached. Someone may look at you and think like, oh, he's successful, he has a great title, he probably doesn't get coached. But what a great reminder that you can be coached at any level of your career. So let's transition to our last question, Jay, and that's this. Of course, you've had a successful career, but my guess is every day in your career hasn't been perfect. Everything hasn't gone amazing. What do you do to stay optimistic when you're going through challenging times?
Once again, setting goals. It's a journey and it takes time. You have to be patient, right? So yes, there are times when I get in my car and I'm driving home, I'm like, why am I doing this, right? But that's when you get a phone call from a member who you helped in the business world with a PPP loan or whatever it might be that changed their life. That gives you purpose. It helps me feel good that we are helping people. Right? So that makes you become more positive, because if you stay positive, I have to stay positive. I have no choice because I have 8 people who report to me, right? So they look up to me. So if I am not positive, it will trickle down into the organization, and that can happen. So it's very challenging, and in the times you are living in, it's very challenging, but you just have to, it's a long-term goal. People helping people is the credit union philosophy, right? So as business services, my job is to help people, be it members or be it our staff, and that keeps me going, and I have no choice but to stay positive. It's very difficult at times, don't get me wrong.
Well, beautiful. That's a great answer. Those are such amazing advice you just gave. So I want to thank you for joining us on 10-Minute Mentorship, and I want to thank you, the viewer, for watching. And of course, we want to say a big thank you to our sponsor, CUNA Mutual Group. We have a lot more of these coming your way, so thank you for joining us.